Now, for question 1, you have to do all parts. So I'm going to do question 1A and D for you. So to do question 1, what we're doing is we're completing the table for each question. Now, what we have been given for 1A is the equation y equals 3x. And what we want to do is we want to substitute in this x value to get some y value. So where we have an x in our equation, we're going to substitute in our x value. So for our y value here, to find it, what we will do is we'll go y equals 3 times our x value of 0. So this is where 3 times 0 is in fact 0. So we put a 0 in there. Then for our next y value, what we want to do is we want to put our x value of 1 into our equation where the x is. So we'll have y equals 3 times our x value of 1, where 3 times 1 is 3. For our x value of 2, we want to find our y value, and how we do this is we substitute in our x value of 2 into our equation where our x is. So we'll get our y value equals 3 times our x value of 2, where 3 times 2 is 6. Moving on to D, we now have 2 components. We have an equation that is y equals 6x minus 7. So we want to put our 2 into our equation, or our x value into our equation where our x is. So we have y equals 6 lots of 2 minus our 7. So 6 lots of 2 is 12 minus 7. So 12 minus 7 is 5. So we put a 5 in here. Then for our x value of 3, we want to substitute it into our equation where our x is in order to find our y value. So to get our y value, it will be 6 times our x value of 3 minus 7. Now 6 times 3 is 18. 18 take away 7 is 11. And finally, for our x value of 4, to get our unknown y value, we substitute 4 into where our x is. So we'll have 6 times 4 minus 7. Now you can put that into your calculator and it will give you the answer, or you can go that 6 times 4 is 24 minus 7. So 24 minus 7 is 17. And that is our answer there. So have a go at doing the rest of those tables. For question 2, what we want to do is we want to draw the graph of each of the following lines using an axis numbered from -3 to 7, and in each case complete the table first. So for 2A, we have the line y equals x plus 1. So we want to complete the table. So we have an x value of 0, and we're going to put it in here in order to find our y value. So 0 plus 1 is equal to 1, so that's our first y value. We then have an x value of 1. So we're going to substitute it into our equation where our x is. So we'll have 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2. So we have a y value of 2. We then have an x value of 2 where we want to find our y value. So we'll put a 2 in where our x is. So we'll have 2 plus 1, which is 3. We then want to graph this line on an axis from -3 to 7. Now I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do this. So the first way is to draw an axis like so. So this is question 2A, and what we had was our equation y equals x plus 1. We had our table of values that looked like this with our x, our 0, 1, 2, forgot these lines, and our y values of 1, 2, and 3. So what we want to do is we want to plot these points. So the first point is 0, 1. So I want to have an x value of 0 and a y value of 1. So an x value of 0 is here, and a y value of 1 is here. So my point is going to be right there as so. Our next point is the point 2, 1, 2. So we have an x value of 1, so we go across 1. Then we have a y value of 2. So we go up 2, and we put our dot. Oh, that's a big dot. Our little dot there. And finally, our last one, we have the point 2, 3. So we have an x value of 2, a y value of 3, and our dot is going to go here. Now what we want to do is we want to connect our dots using a straight line. We need to make sure that if we're drawing these by hand that we're using a ruler. And we want to connect our dots like so. We want our line to go through our dots, and we want to draw an arrow at the end of our line to say that our line continues on. We then want to write our equation of y equals x plus 1 on our graph to label our line. Now, another way of doing this is you've been told you can use a thing called Desmos. So Desmos is a graphing calculator that will do the graphing for you. So all you need to do is put in your equation. So y equals x plus 1, and there we have it. We have our graph. And so as we can see that we have our same points like we did, we have our point at 0, 1. You probably can't see, I don't have a pointer on this. We have our point at 1, 2, and we have our point at 2, 3. And as you can see, this line goes on and on and on forever. That's why when we graph it using paper, we need to draw our arrows on it. Okay, so that's what you do for question 2. For question 3, we have some equations that are a little bit different. So the first one, and we don't have a table done up for us. So we're going to graph the line described by these equations. Now the first one is x plus y equals 3. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to scroll down here, and so for 3a, we had x plus y equals 3. Now I'm going to draw up a table of values box myself, and I'm just going to use those same x values that we had in the previous question of 0, 1, and 2, and I'm going to substitute them in to my equation to get my y value. So if I put in my x value of 0 into my equation, I'll have 0 plus y equals 3. 0 plus y is just y, so y will equal 3 in there. Now if I put in my x value of 1, so I'll have 1 plus y equals 3. So what do I add to 1 to get 3? That would be 2, so my y value has to be 2. Then I have my x value of 2, so I substitute that in here. So I have 2 plus y equals 3. Now another way we can do this is going back to how we solve equations. We have this 2 over here, and we don't want it over here because we want to find our y value. So it's a positive 2, so we're going to get rid of the positive 2 by taking it away from both sides of our equation. So 2 minus 2 just is 0, so we'll have 0 plus y, which is y, equals 3 minus 2 is 1. So we get a y value of 1. Now we do the same as what we did before. We're going to plot these points. So our first value is 0, 3, which is here. Our next one is 1, 2, which is here. And finally 2, 1, which is here. We're then going to draw a straight line, like I said before, going through our points. Okay, we're going to make it a little bit longer this time, and we're going to add in our arrows. Very important. And we're going to label our line as x plus y equals 3. Now again, what you can use is Desmos if that is easier, and take a screenshot and put it in an electronic document to upload. And we just go x plus y equals 3, and there is our exact same line. Now going back to our questions, question 4, 5, and 6 are exactly the same as question 3. It's just that you're going to, for question 4, you're going to plot each of these equations, and you're going to graph each of those equations on the same number line, and then say how they're alike. What do they have in common? Think about that. Then finally, for question 7, what we need to do is we need to solve on which of the following lines does the point 6, 7 lie. So to do this, we are going to sub in the point 6, 7 into our, 6, 7 into our equations. So for question 7, I'm going to have a quick go at doing 7a for you. So for 7a, we have the equation y equals x plus 1. And then over here, we have our point 6, 7, where our 6 is our x value and our 7 is our y value. So what I'm going to do is where I have a y in my equation here, I'm going to put a 7 equals. Where I have my x, I'm going to put a 6, and then I just have my plus 1. So 7 equals, I'm going to write that down because there's nothing to do there, but I can go 6 plus 1. Now 6 plus 1 is 7. So because both sides of my equations equal 7, it means therefore, yes, the point lies on the line. Okay, if I was to have a quick look at B, I will, nope, not going to do B. If I was to have a quick look at C, we will see that we have the equation y equals 3x minus 4. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to substitute in my x value of 6 and my y value of 7. So my y value is 7 equals 3. The relationship between 3 and x is times our x value of 6 minus 4. So I have 7 equals 3 times 6 is 18. Minus 4, 7 equals 18 minus 4 is 14. Now, because they are not equal to each other, 7 definitely does not equal 14. The points don't lie on the line. And there we go. So have a go at doing the rest of that question. So doing B, D,